Yo, this is your boy C Brown and your boy
Mike.
coming to you live on Dunking on Sports with that tunnel vision. You already know how we do it up in here. And one of the topics we're going to be bringing up, or I guess the topic of this show.
Like a few. We got a few.
A few. But we're going to be talking about that Thor Ragnarok and some of the pieces in the Phase 3, beginning of Phase 3 situation. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about in this show. But let's get right into it. I don't think that Spider-Man should have started Phase 3, seeing that he's been rebooted and remade and created multiple times in the show or in a movie or whatever the case may be. He's had his due, okay? Now, yes, he was cool in Civil War, and yes, he looks cool in Homecoming and this stuff, but Hawk hasn't had his own movie to himself in this whole phase, like any of these phases, 1, 2, or 3. Like this Hulk,
not yet.
Like they've had other Hulk movies, but they had nothing to do with this build up to this big team movie. So I think at least they should have gave Hulk his movie to begin Phase 3, or somewhere in the beginning of Phase 3. Then have Thor Ragnarok, then have Black Panther, then have Spider-Man. I don't think Spider-Man should have had the first seat. Now you can pick who should have had what, but definitely not Spider-Man.
Okay. We talked about Spider-Man before. I think that it was a condition based off of what they had their deal with Sony. It was cool. They wanted to put him in something, and I got it. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, it doesn't make. It's odd. It's an odd choice of like order, but Spider-Man itself, as a character, was a big deal in the actual Civil War comics. So it was like, to put them in, I guess that's what they were going for. But, obviously they don't follow that shit, and they don't follow it exactly the way that they don't completely directly adapt it. You know what I mean? So, I get what you're saying. I've definitely wanted to see a Hawk movie by now. I've definitely wanted to see a new Hawk movie. But it goes back to that rights thing.
Well, all right. To combat what you said, Spider-Man, nobody had a feel for him yet. He just came in Civil War. Hulk, he's been here. We've grown to love him, his character, the people that play him, the way they write him into the movies. So I think out of due, simple respect, he deserves his movie, because at least most of the characters of the original Avengers have like 2 to 3 movies right now. Hulk has 0. So
he has one.
Which one?
He has the Incredible Hulk. You can't keep like.
Was Incredible Hulk part of this? Because I don't.
It's a part of the Incredible Hulk is a part of the MCU.
No. I'm talking about part of this
phase.
Part of these phases.
No. But that's because of the thing with Universal. They asked him at DC 23. He was like, he basically said that they don't want to play nice with Disney, so we don't even work. They work around it. They're in a position where they have to work around it. They can't really put him in a film. And I'm not saying they can't fix that, but it's just something they suffer from. It's a business thing.
Okay, all right.
I know what you're saying. Like, I feel for you about that shit. Like, I really think he should be there, but
my thing is, he's been in all the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
If that's the problem, then cut them a check. Just put them as co-producer, put them as co-whatever. Put their name on the film, so then we can make a Hulk movie, because he deserves it. He deserves having a Hulk movie. He deserves having that joint. Like, he really deserves having his own film, because all the rest of the Avengers got their own films. Black Panther's got a film. I'm pretty sure it's done. Like I said in the other video, he cut his hair. So, like I said, everybody's getting their own film.
Yeah. Why
hasn't he got his? And he's a beloved character. It isn't like he's Hawkeye. Not to say anything against him, but Hulk is a big staple of Marvel, period.
I have a question then. So, with that, would you still petition for a Black Widow movie?
I wouldn't mind them, Hawkeye and Black Widow, having a movie together, like a duo or tag team, like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith type thing.
I see what you're saying.
Because they're both on the same level, and that's not to be disrespectful, but both of them are assassins. Both of them are, they're beloved, but they're not like up there with the upper echelons of Marvel. So it's like, share a movie.
Well, that makes sense, because when you say that, and I think about how like now we're kind of getting these group films, which are like, it'll say Thor, but it's Thor and the Hulk, and it'll say Captain America, but it's really Captain America and Iron Man. I think it would have been cool if they actually had started the team ups with secondary characters teaming up in movies before. Like, so it does make sense. I see what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. But another thing that just came to my mind as we're sitting here talking, we could have also had a film. I don't know where this would have fit in the phases. Y'all can help me out there in the world. Y'all seen these movies. There's a lot of stuff going through my head. But they could have had a film where Hawkeye and Scarlet were looking for the Hulk when he like disappeared. Mm-hmm. Because at that point, it was kind of a love interest. And like he just disappeared. So they could have had that to bridge the phases of like having them team
that would have been a cool movie.
To look for him. And then it would have been sweet because there was government looking for him as well. So it was like it would have been action. It would have been like an action adventure joint, but it also would have told some more fillery. You know,
that would be cool. I don't know. Like, I think that they don't put a lot. Like certain things, I feel like I know where they put their stakes into shit. Like they put their stakes into certain things. Like that sounds right. That sounds correct. That sounds like something they would do. Like something you would want to see. But then I'm thinking like Disney. So I'm thinking like, could we sell a movie where it's just Hawkeye and Black Widow as far as not necessarily the movie itself? Because the movie, you would go see the movie, no question. But is there merch coming from that? Is there like, how are they going to put that? Because those characters, like, they don't even really, we talked about the merch breakdown, how they get down. Yeah. I don't know. Would they think that's a fruitful investment? That's the thing. I think it'd be a great film.
I think it would be great for the simple fact that you could still have all the Avengers in it. Uh-huh. It wouldn't have to be like a movie where Spider-Man, where you just shoved the Iron Man in there for no reason. Mm-hmm. No shots. But it's basically an Avengers movie rebuilding the Avengers. Like, she's going to look for the Hulk to bring him back to the team, and she needs Hawkeye. So it would be an Avengers film, because they're trying to rebuild it. So it wouldn't be hard to, because then, they would eventually call up Nick Fury. Do you know any leads? Blah, blah, blah. Iron Man, have you done anything? Like, so they would have been interacting through the movie, finagling through the plot or whatever. But eventually the goal would have been these two are looking for the Hulk. Mm-hmm. Also, another thing that I've noticed about like these whole Avenger movies and all their phases, they have a big storyline. But then they have all these side stories that go
and then
coincide with the bigger story.
And some of the side stories don't get treated as properly, like,
and they don't get fully developed.
Yeah, they don't.
And they get rushed past. And that was one of the things I was talking about, the little quote unquote love interest between Black Widow and Hulk. That was a side story that could have been dug into, absolutely, but it was rushed through.
Because the thing about it is, I didn't even think it was necessary at that point.
I mean,
but. For them I felt like it was negligent for them not to even try to like follow through with it. It's just they didn't follow through with it, and that's what you're saying. Like,
and then also
they got a lot of holes. It's a lot of holes. That's all. Yeah.
And a lot of like research that I was doing with all the trailers coming out and everything developing as quick as it is, that they haven't discussed, that they haven't said. So I don't know if this is true. This is pure speculation. This is tunnel vision all the way. In the comic books, when Hawk is on Planet Hawk, he has a girlfriend, has a kid. So now they can't discuss it because it's like, if they're following the continuity of the comic book, he's supposed to have a girlfriend and a kid. Yeah. In this whole period of him being gone.
Yeah, I see.
So are they going to get into that? Or they're going to ignore it and I miss you, Black Widow.
I'm going to tell you what I think.
When they get into the Infantry Wars, not in Thor Ragnarok.
They won't ever do that.
What, the kid and
you want to do the kid?
I mean, but it could be one of those like side story things, like not something that they fully flesh out, but something that they.
It'd be interesting because it would give them a little depth. Yeah, it would change like the concept of them. But I don't think they would do it. I think when Infinity Wars comes around, the relationship we will get based off of like Comic-Con, based off what I've seen, will be the Vision and Scarlet Witch relationship. I don't think that these movies are vast enough where we're sitting there watching a whole bunch of people fall in love amongst the destruction. So I'm thinking it might have decimated a little bit.
Not necessarily, because the two characters in Guardians of the Galaxy, they're in love with each other.
Are they?
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I know
it's teenage love.
He's trying to get some of that green.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it.
I saw that because Hulk's green too. He's trying to Black Widow trying to get it. Okay.
Everybody's searching.
Everybody's green. Okay.
Going green.
That's the thing.
Gang green.
But I'm just saying, it's like, so are they briefly going to touch into that? Because
I don't know.
Because they're keeping it true to him being Hulk the whole time he was gone.
I think when we get to Hulk and they explain it, it's going to be just like what we saw. No spoilers, but spoilers for anybody who thinks we're spoiling it. It's like they said that the Hulk has been the Hulk for 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's following the comic books.
Yeah, I get it. And I don't think we're going to get anything deeper than that. I think the Hulk has... I think Marvel is done as a whole. I think...
And then, hold on. Before you slide off into that, before you hold that thought, also another thing that they've been following in the comic books, him wearing the necklaces and stuff.
No.
So, I mean, they're following him staying Hulk for 2 years. They followed him staying, wearing the necklaces and stuff. So why wouldn't they briefly touch on that point that he has a kid?
The only reason I think they wouldn't do that, they could. And I'm not saying, I don't know.
Because then they would have to pick up.
The only reason I say that is because I think that they want, as much as they want to make a Hulk film, they can't put a Hulk film inside of it. I think something like that I would want to see as a film. I would want to see him sitting there and they're like, she's like, I'm pregnant and all that shit. Like, we go.
Well, no, I'm talking about like the baby's already been born or whatever, within 2 years or whatever. But what I'm saying is, okay, let's say you're right. They don't even touch on it. They don't touch on the kid, him having a kid, and him having a wife or a girlfriend, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. Then they gonna have to, in Infantry Wars, have something of him and Black Widow having a heart-to-heart, like, where the hell did you go? I missed you. You just left me out there. They're going to have to touch on that.
They're going to have to talk. They're going to have to.
It's briefly going to be some period where it's like, yo, what the hell?
I think that that's going to come. I think we're going to get that. But I'm going back and thinking about it when I saw the movie. I felt like it was forced anyway.
Which movie?
The film where they kind of touch on the relationship. They don't really touch on the relationship in the first Avengers, because the first Avengers is like when she goes to get him.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives us that first pick on like Mark Ruffalo's version.
Yeah.
And that was like the whole thing. But I remember when he's like in the ship and he's like flying the ship, and then the second Avengers, and she's kind of like feeling some type of way. I still feel like that was like rushed.
Well, we already said that the little side stories that they stick in are always rushed. So that's not a shocker.
It's not. It's just, I don't know.
But they're gonna have to explain that.
They're gonna have to explain it. I just don't know how they're gonna do it. And
I hope hopefully it's done tasteful, because as of so far, all these movies leading up to this big team up film, they've handled stuff with grace. So far,
they have. That was a question I was gonna bring up.
Well, what's up?
It's the question. I got it for you right
here
now. You almost had it. Here now, whatever. But do you think the MCU will end up being convoluted? And I'll say this only because the DC EU is kind of convoluted already. It's like so much going on, and I feel like people go in and they make that dream film they want, that concept they want, and then they make it, but it doesn't necessarily fit well into like the whole vision. So do you think it'll get to a point where it gets too confusing? Well, because I'm almost at that point now. I'm almost at the point where like,
yes and no,
it's getting a little bit confusing. Like, what am I paying attention to? Like, I know the Spider-Man thing when they say that it's been 8 years since the first Avengers film, and they say that, and that continuity is wrong. But if you go back and look at the time, and that's to make sense of the cameo he has in Iron Man 2 when he has the mask on. But the timelines are getting messy.
Their relationship, though.
Yeah, but the timelines are getting messy, and it's just the only thing I'm saying is like, are they gonna keep it up? Are they gonna get it? Are they gonna keep it right? I'm just because DC's already messed up.
Okay, hold on.
What you think?
Yes and no. The reason I'll give you my no first. The reason I think that no, they're not gonna mess it up is because movies are great at cleaning up their mistakes now. Like they have, and let me clear that up. Movies have made mistakes, and they'll reboot movies and make mistakes. But if it's a powerful movie that's running on a gravy train and it's going the right direction and it makes a mistake, it's easy for them to fix it. Like, it's a small part to fix. If you mess up a movie, it's screwed. But if you mess up a little part of a movie, you can easily kind of fix that. And right now, this is time issues. And this isn't a time belt with the whole Avengers. This is just him and Spider-Man. So that's something small that either one, they can just bypass and just ignore, like we didn't even hear it or see it. Or they can actually get into it and try to make it fit and make it work. So the yes would be, yes, they're going to screw this up because they're going to start shoving other heroes in this joint because everybody has their own universe. Iron Man got his own villains. Okay. Spider-Man got his own villains.
I got you.
Hulk got his own villains. Thor got his own villains. So if they get greedy and money hungry or whatever the case may be, they can screw this up by shoving too much stuff in one. But as of right now, the reason it's not getting too compacted is because even though they're making up these team films, they're still giving us a break from team films. They're not like team film. It's team film, then everybody's separate story. Team film, everybody's separate story. Okay. So they're keeping it spread out. So it's not like they're just jam-packing all this joint back to back.
And I'll give you another example, because we're kind of turning this into a bigger battle, which is the MCU. Just questions of, from Thor, we kind of take it. They say that Captain Marvel, which is the Mrs. Marvel film, takes place in the 90s. Did you hear about that?
No, did not hear that.
So that takes place in the 90s, and her co-star for the film is Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury before he gets the eye patch.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Everything's fine. But I know you want to tell me something that I didn't know.
That was it. I just don't like.
That's all right.
With that, how do we go about that? Because I remember the whole thing is with like when we watch Iron Man for Phase 1, it was the whole thing like nobody's really been a hero before. The only person that we kind of knew could have been a hero at that moment was Captain America. But that was like 50 years before. So I'm trying to figure out like when they go out and like clean, like I'm saying it's starting to get to this point now where like we see a film and this is whole like this was like when it first started, it was like this is a phase like of people being heroes. Mm-hmm. And then now, as we're getting to this point now, it's like a lot of flashbacks. Mm-hmm. So it was like I get the the old school flashbacks of the first Ant-Man and all that stuff because maybe that wasn't really documented.
Right.
But Captain Marvel, I'm thinking about her abilities and thinking about her as a super hero in the sense of the real word. Mm-hmm. Without really a suit or anything, like a mutation. And are they backtracking? Like, what's going on with it? You know what I mean? Like,
all right. And I'm going to give you a straightforward answer because most of the time I say yes or no, but I'm going to give you a straightforward answer. They're trying to find a way to give us a Nick Fury origin story. And correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will. Wasn't he in a Avengers squad? Or some type of squad with superheroes?
He was in a squad before.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe they're giving us this origin story. So they know that this infantry timeline, people going to die. So they're trying to keep the gravy boat going by starting another Avengers, quote unquote. They might not call it Avengers. They might not even make up a team film. But I'm just speculating here, tunnel vision all the way. But maybe they're giving us Nick Fury's origin story within this new Marvel universe that they're about to build. And they know that this timeline with Guardians and all them, they about to die. So if we start this new timeline with Nick Fury being out there in the 90s and stuff, they can come back this way and build another Infantry Wars type thing.
I get what you're saying.
Like another timeline separate.
And that would be dope. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. It's just going to be interesting how it plays out because
long as they don't try to connect the two, they're completely fine. If they just stay on the east side of their boat. Like if the way that they're coming with the Nick Fury having no eye patch, if they lead up to the point where he met Iron Man and them and they stop right there, it's completely fine. But if they start going forward, it's like, okay, so now you're meshing the two.
No, I see what you're saying. No, they said it takes place in the 90s, so there is a chunk of about 10, 15 years.
So that's what I'm saying, but that's what their timeline has to stay in within that pocket.
I hope it does.
If it doesn't, then that's when the stuff is going to get a little weird.
I was just like the concept of, I remember when we saw Iron Man, and I know maybe it was just us because we understood it was like this whole universe thing where like nobody had been a hero before. It was kind of like he was like the first version of one, and then he went back and it was like Captain was one. But he went back and then they were like, "This is." So I mean, I don't know, but I'm saying the way they do it. Do you think it's gonna get too confusing for the average fan?
It depends on how much they play with time with Doctor Strange. If they don't play with time, it should be fine.
They haven't played with him time.
But I'm saying it's coming into it when they get these team up films. Because that's basically one of his major powers.
His major power is like the manipulation of time.
And then on top of that, they're using a lot of space. and space and time continuum type stuff. So it's like between his powers and then them being out in space, they could shift and readjust some things. They'd be like, oh, they've been out in space and there's a different time out there. And then Doctor Strange is like, so it could get screwy. But as of right now, we can't doubt them because they've given us nothing but fire. So we just got to keep riding it. Hopefully they're going to bring it on home. And speaking of bringing it on home, it's getting a little long. It's been real. We're going to talk about a couple of more things, and then we're going to tidy it up. But definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it. Yes. You know, man, hit us up, ask us questions, hit us on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. If you want us to talk about topics that we haven't covered.
Yeah, send us questions.
Send us questions.
Send us questions. Send us questions on our Twitter page, right?
Twitter and Facebook.
Yes.
Just send us questions. Just send them our way or send us comments down below. Give us more things to talk about. If you like the episodes and you want to add in conversations and, you know, add tidbits onto our show, we love that. We want that. We're here for you. We're here to give our vision. But if you want to give your vision the tunnel vision and have your views on our views, and we just discuss this on like some roundtable stuff. See, again, some roundtable, tunnel vision. It's all working together.
Yeah, but King Arthur type shit.
Yeah, King Arthur. You know what I mean? But
not the movie.
No, Lord, that's another subject for another day. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it, have fun with it. I hope you love this episode. We're gonna give you a little bit more, and then we're gonna say goodnight on this joint. But
I like how you give post-credit topics. I mean, it's like Marvel. Like you do like a movie. Like I'm watching the credits, and I'm like, there's some other shit happening afterwards.
It's got to.
And then you ask me, and I'll be like, what the fuck?
It's got to.
It's funny.
So the last 2 or 3 things we're going to get into is, do you believe him hitting the windshield on Guardians of the Galaxy's plane or whatever? Do you think that's a post-credit scene, or is that the beginning of Infinity Wars?
Are you asking me or them?
Both. Because, I mean, you're here.
Yeah.
So we need your tunnel vision on that.
I will put an eye on it and tell you exactly what I think. But, I mean, I think that what happens is I feel like these movies film a lot of scenes, and a lot of scenes will somehow fit, and I've seen that, and a lot of the scenes that they've done lately in the last couple of phases, a post-credit scene will be a scene that was supposed to be in a film and then not, you know, they take it out and then it becomes like its own story. So I think, first of all, we know that Thor's not dying, so we know that nothing's happening to him, and we know we have to get to a point where it's going to have to open up for everybody to get there.
True.
So it doesn't mess up the film for me. I don't think it's a spoiler. I think it's just like, because we still don't know how he gets there. Like, we don't know. So I think it's cool, though. And at first I told you I didn't like it. Because I thought it was kind of like...
It was easy. It was a cop-out.
It was easy. I think it was easy as hell to do.
But, I mean, at the end of the day,
it's a comic book, and that's how it is, man.
But you still had to do something to link them together. And, like, you ain't want to go over the top, because let's say that is the beginning of the movie. You don't want to go too over the top, because you know the movie's already going to be over the top towards the end. So it's like, what can we do that's not, like, super underwhelming, but not, like, super, like, 4th of July fireworks?
That's what you're saying.
So they had to give us something soft, because it's like, damn, it's like, hold on, he met the Guardians of the Galaxy like that? So it's like, it still grabs you.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. But, I like it, and I didn't like it. And I told you I hated it.
It grew on you. It grew on you.
The first time.
It grew on you.
But I like it. But so to answer your question, is it a spoiler? No. Because I don't know how he gets there.
All right.
And I don't know how he gets there, so I can't.
Nobody knows how we get there except for the people that are actually doing the movie. So here's the last 2 topics, people. Once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share, comment, whatever you would like to do. Just show that love and show that support. But here's the last 2 topics. Also, going back to our original topic, to start off Phase 3, why didn't we get a Nick Fury movie? Where has he been in this joint? Because he was part of the big 3 that was gone. How's your whole squad fighting and you ain't nowhere to be found?
It's kind of a next question.
So it's like, where he could have started off Phase 3, explaining where he was at, what he was doing, and linking it all in.
The whole thing is...
Or he could have been setting up Infantry Wars. That would have been perfect.
I don't know.
Because he could have been starting calling people and like, hey, yo, I saw the beef.
I think this is what he does. I think this is what they have planned. Which their version of a plan sometimes isn't a plan at all.
They just freestyle.
Okay. Because he could easily be around paying attention to what's going on.
This is true, but that would be trifling. Just want to point that out.
I know it could be, but I'm just saying. He could be paying attention to, dare I say, the Netflix characters. he could be paying attention to the smaller people.
That would be sweet.
He could be paying attention to these things because if Iron Man can find Spider-Man, he can't find.
And see, you're reading my brain. I love it because that's definitely the last topic I wanted to cover, bro.
Yeah.
Will he bring a new squad in Infantry Wars to help out his new Avengers? Seeing that he's been gone, maybe he's been recruiting a new team because he knows this threat is going to be super huge to bring a team in to help.
I don't know. We'll have to wait till Defenders comes out, see what they say.
And you're going to have to wait until next episode. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it, have a comment, have a like, drink a drink. It's all good. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.